Hello, folks, and welcome to a game that I really don't know how to pronounce. I think I heard it pronounced once by someone, but it might be something else I'm thinking of. Nebuchadnezzar? Nebuchadnezzar. At least what I'm thinking it how it's pronounced hits most of those marks. Though for some reason the game is not focusing. Alright, we'll do it this way. I'll just record my whole screen. Problem solved. Not sure how long I'll play for, I'm a bit tired, but I want to cleanse the palate. I was playing another game, it's kind of interesting, but I'm not in the mood for it. Or like, it's kind of interesting, but it doesn't quite grab me. Let me just check the audio levels. There's multiples? Campaign. It will lead you through the whole history of ancient Mesopotamia and all that civilization's milestones, from initial settlement to the fall of Babylon. Experience the story of one of the first civilizations, a civilization of imposing cities and grand monuments. Pre-Pottery Neolithic A, 10,000 to 8,700 BC, was the first significant Neolithic culture in the Near East. Objectives: train the population, 20 wheat, 20 bread, 12 shacks. Pre-Pottery Neolithic A was a Near East culture that inhabited the so-called Fertile Crescent between 10,000 and 8,700 BC. There are archaeological artifacts from this culture in the Levantine and Mesopotamia. It was preceded by the Nephilim culture. Typical housing for this culture consisted of circular houses sunk into the ground with stone foundations. Walls were made of unbaked bricks, and the floors of terrazzo. The fireplace and cooking area were usually outside. This is the first time in history that we see development of organized agriculture. Local cereals such as barley and oat were the common crops. They're wild forms at first, but they gradually replaced by cultivated variants. There are no irrigation systems yet, so crops were only grown in areas with sufficient moisture. The development of agriculture also made possible tanks and fresh granaries, which allowed for longer storage tanks, better ventilation, and protection from rodents. Gardens were placed outside at first, but were gradually moved to special rooms in houses. I know Romans like to keep their, like a long time later, like to keep their kitchens outside in a separate building, a distance away from the actual dining hall. That way, if anyone caught fire, it wouldn't be as much of an issue. It wouldn't threaten the whole house. Things may be a little colder than you'd like, though, depending on how far they exactly put it, and the general conditions of the place. I don't know too much about this time period, that's why I brought up the bloody Romans. Morebet was an ancient settlement on the west bank of the Uruk in today's northern Syria. The city was inhabited between roughly 10,200 and 8,000 BC. The first settlement was during the Nephilim culture. The archaeological site was flooded by Lake Assad in 1974. Its diameter was about 75 meters. Usick and normal. I'm not very great at city builders. I like playing them, but I'm shit at them. I get too overeager one way or another. The group of nomads has finally found what they're seeking for so long, an area with sufficient fertile soil and a good climate, an ideal place for a permanent settlement, and you as leader of the group will have the most important role. You will organize construction of your new home. Welcome to Nebuchadnezzar. I am Gilgamesh, and will be your guide for your first few missions, during which I'll walk you through the basics of the game as well as cover advanced techniques. Ready? Then let's start. Gonna need my help to do this. Gilgamesh is... I want to say he's two things. There is the cult of Gilgamesh that worshipped him as a demigod, and the Epic of Gilgamesh is based off that. But there was a historical Gilgamesh that was a king, and was then deified, and had the whole cult around him. I want to say that's what I remember seeing. I also remember seeing some things people were talking about. The shit he says to Ishtar, it's just fucking hysterical. Ishtar was this goddess who was an ass, from my limited knowledge, and just... oh. I remember reading bits of it, and it was just... oh, it was hysterical. Let me see if I can't find it off the cuff. Someone had... depicted it using the iterations from Fate. So... it just makes it funnier. Okay, these are... I haven't been able to find the quotes except in those things. So I'm not sure if this is accurate, but it's still fucking hysterical. But let me clarify that again. I looked it up trying to find the quotes, but I couldn't find anything, you know, just quick and easy. I literally stumbled onto the comics that I was referencing a moment ago instead of it. Gilgamesh replied to mighty Ishtar thus: "But how could I repay you as a wife, and so avoid the bitterness that strive to follow you? Is it perfume for a dress you want, or me? Here's a song I made for you. Ishtar is the heart gone cold, a broken door without the gold, a fort that shuts its soldiers out, a water wells that fill with doubt, tar that can't be washed away, a broken cup stained in grey, rock that shatters to dust and sand, a useless weapon in the hand, and worse than that, or even this, a god's own sandal filled with piss. You've had your share of boys, it's true. Which of them came twice for you? Let me now list the ones that you just blew away. First was Tammuz, the virgin, after 3 long seduce. And then you lusted for a fancy, and cut its wings. They actually cut off bits because it's... I think they felt they'll get banned off Twitter. You're trapping a line? Cock went in your... oh, Jesus. Ishtar was a freak. But, yeah, you can look that up yourself if you want. Oh, Jesus. Horse, you fondled once a shepherd boy, who baked buns for your tongue's joy, and daily killed his lamb so coy. So in return for gifts like those, you chose to euthanize his toy. And when his brothers saw his penis, they knew you'd done something heinous. Ushunu trimmed your father's trees and brought you carrots, dates, and peas. So mighty you sat down to feasts, then turned your thought to raping beasts. So I'm naked once and said, "Come, Ishwamu, into my bed and forced into my head. Place your fingers where men dare to touch a girl who's dead." And he in turn said this to you: "What is it that you'd have me do? I know, kind mother, I won't eat if I can't match your female heat." I need to fucking look that up. That's hysterical. I tried to find it before, but I can't remember if I had any real success. But whether or not that's accurate, whoever wrote that's fucking hysterical. First thing is move windows. So grab any parts and do that. Right click anywhere inside it. Move map. Okay. Let's speed up thing. If you only need speed up time temporarily, best is to hold down speed up key. It's E by default. There's two ways. Use the keys. What the hell would be those? Let's click that. Pause it by space or Q. Other elements, but I'll explain those later when you need them. Ready to start building. Actually, there's one more thing I need to show you. On the left side screen, you notice several green question marks. These represent new sections in our game's wiki, where each such section contains an in-depth explanation of one of the gameplay mechanics in Nebuchadnezzar. So if you ever forget how something works or want to find out more, it's the place to look. Let's start by building some houses. Houses provide accommodation for people who work and live in your city. To build something, first open respective category in the lower menu, then select required building. Now choose where you want to build the building. If the horizon is green, you place the building with your mouse. Excellent. As you can see, new people are arriving in your city. Some buildings, such as houses, can also be built by dragging the mouse over the area in which you want to place them. It's also handy that someone pre-built this road for us. For settlers who arrived in the city, take good care of them. You'll need them. Good. You might notice some houses seem to be having problems. Move your cursor to the floating question marks. You'll see that the building's not connected to any road. Let's fix that with a road. Excellent. All the houses are now accessible and should be welcome to new settlers. Since our city is now starting to grow nicely, let's have a look at the mission objectives. You can see some mission objectives already complete. Remaining two items are assets talk about wheat and bread. Okay, let's build a farm now and start growing wheat. Good, the farm is now ready but seems to have a problem. Problem here is the farm doesn't have any fields where it could grow crops. To build a field, open the menu with agricultural structures. Then select a wheat field and build it as you would any other building. No restrictions, must always be placed near the farm. Excellent, okay. But now you might be wondering why exactly 6 fields. If you go closer to the farm window, you'll see it currently employs 2 farmers. Even closer look will reveal 2 numbers in the bottom left corner of the card. The first represents the current number of fields tended by the given farmer. Second is the maximum number of fields tended per year. Build fewer fields and then the farm won't be fully utilized, but if you build more, the excess fields won't be used at all. But that doesn't mean you always need to build the ideal number of fields. Sometimes there might not be enough space for more, in other cases you might not need maximum production. Excellent. It is possible that your farmers are not working yet. This is caused by the fact that each crop can only be cultivated in a specific part of the year. Specifically, wheat can only be sown between January and March. Current amount is displayed in the top left corner. So before we can start producing wheat, we can prepare bread production. But before we start building bakery, I need to tell you about transporting goods. Goods are transported by haulers, which is another type of slot. Just like farmers, these can be hired into work buildings. Haulers operate automatically and transport goods between their buildings and other work buildings or warehouses. However, the most important thing to keep in mind is that they have a limited range. This means they won't transport goods to buildings too far from their home building. This range can be displayed using the flag button on the hauler card, and in construction mode it is marked with a blue square around the building. All buildings in range also have blue overlay. No transport will happen between two buildings out of range of the hauler. Now let's get back to work. We don't need any warehouse to produce bread, since haulers can bring wheat from a farm directly to bakery. But since we need to store bread and wheat to complete mission objectives, we also need to build a warehouse. To be sure these two houses will be sufficient for wheat as well as bread, we need to make sure to set up everything right. Each warehouse can be configured configured only to accept specific goods. Use the buttons shown below to allow or ban the storage of specific goods in a warehouse. So one warehouse bread and the other wheat. Excellent. However, sometimes a warehouse is still storing goods you don't want there. To remove them, you don't need to do anything complicated and certainly don't need to destroy the whole warehouse. Simply use the button shown below, which will remove all goods of a given type from the warehouse. Great. Since everything's set up for a completion mission, I'll take my leave for now. Once you close this last page tutorial, you'll free to continue building without further restrictions. Feel free to experiment a bit. Don't forget you can increase game speed. Just keep in mind you need to first complete all tasks in this mission before you proceed to the next one, where I'll show you how to get this tasty bread to your citizens. Fire, crime, disease, pollution, appeal, religion. Ah, hauler. Okay, so if I'm to start stocking wheat, I think it'll be a good idea to get another farmer in here. I actually can't. Crop farm. Alright. Next mission. Pre-Pottery Neolithic B was the culture of the Near East that followed Pre-Pottery Neolithic A. The people who lived in this period began intensively utilizing livestock, which became the primary livelihood for many, dated between approximately 8,700 and 6,500 BC. It's also the first culture in this area to feature rectangular houses. One important part of the houses from this period is the flooring, which was made of white clay plaster from limestone. It is believed that the use of clay plaster in the walls and floors led to the discovery of pottery. The first pre-pottery vessels. One important part of the houses from this period is flooring, which is made of white clay plaster from limestone. It is believed that the use of clay plaster in the walls and floors led to the discovery of pottery. The first pre-pottery vessels that started to appear around 7000 BC were made from a mixture of lime and ash layered over baskets. Also see plastered human skulls in this period. These played an important role in funerals and demonstrated great importance to the people of this period, assigned to burying their dead. At the same time, they're also considered one of the first forms of art in the area, and also among the first historical examples of portraiture. This culture disappeared during the so-called 8.2 kiloyear event, a climatic event which lasted approximately 200 years, 6,200 to 6,000 BC, and led to a sudden drop in global temperature. However, this general cultural development of the inhabitants continued after the period ended. Tel Sawat was a large ancient settlement located about 5,000 kilometers from today's Damascus, Syria. The settlement was inhabited between 8,700 and 7,500 BC. The archaeological site was discovered in 1967 and has a diameter of approximately 250 meters. Tal Swad offers an important window into PPNB and especially into how the organization of work and society progressed in this period. A long search for a suitable new settlement and dish for small many grazing animals in the vicinity. In fact, seeing them, we began to wonder whether hunting them is the very best thing one could do. Try something different. Greetings and welcome back. In this mission, I'll show you how to distribute the goods and food you made to create a larger and more prosperous city. I've already built a few houses so that we can go right to the more interesting part. First, we need to find the current needs of our houses. Our house window, and then we'll continue. Right now, we're just interested in the left part of the window. Here you can find the requirements for each level. If you score all required goods for a house, the house will be promoted to the next level, will provide housing for more people. We warned the house will continuously consume these goods. If these run out, the house will drop and lose extra inhabitants and Labor Day and also Labor Day provide. All goods are distributed using sellers that work in markets. Build one market next to a house in the highlighted area to continue. Excellent. Now I can tell you more about how slots work. A work building will never do anything on its own. Instead, each have several slots which can be occupied by a specific profession. This slot then performs the designated work. To assign a worker to a slot, use the plus button and then the slot you want to use. Each slot requires a certain number of workers recruited from the city's inhabitants to do the related work. The number of workers is displayed in the bottom left corner of the slot portrait. The current unemployment level and number of missing workers available in the top upper panel right next to current month. Sour bread, sour milk. Good, now you can see that a new warning is appeared of market, but we can ignore it for now. We'll get to that in a moment. For a market, to start distributing goods, it needs to have these goods in internal storage. Next, the image shows where the current materials storage is displayed and the current internal there. That will give you the option to show me what you want in the previous mission. Build one farm with wheat fields, 2 bakeries, and 1 livestock farm with goat pastures produce milk. We'll continue as soon as you transport at least 1 bread and milk to the market. That kind of bugs me. Okay, 2 bakeries. Oh, actually, no. I want to put this too far. Oh, actually, here will work. There we go. Do not have routes. Can't speed it up any faster. Ah, I have to route them around? Okay. Like, it seems like each, like, slot is actually, of workers is actually 30 people. This is 20. Excellent. But, how will we know that our production will cover demand? Which I know kind of bugs me. I'm used to it being a 1-for-1 sort of thing. Here you'll find an estimate of the current annual production and consumption of each type of good in your city. These estimates assume that each slot has enough workers and enough transport delays. Here you can also find current annual production and consumption as well as current efficiency. Since even while we're on transport system can experience minor fluctuations, recommend keeping a small reserve in production. But now let's go back to the warning we saw above the market, since that's actually related to distribution goods. This warning says sellers don't have any routes to follow. Sellers don't callers don't work automatically. They follow the route set by the player and supply houses along this route. To configure the route, activate the tool for new checkpoints, then add them by clicking the map. A seller's checkpoint can only be placed on a road. If you want to remove the last checkpoint, use minus. If you want to see the current route, use the flag option. This button can also be used to copy the route of another seller if you have the tool for new checkpoints activated. To to continue set the routes for both sellers so they cover the whole block of houses. Trying to figure this out. Yeah, accident undid you. Okay, so click this. Oh, okay. Now I got it. Excellent. Now you should see your houses gradually receive bread and milk. Each house that receives both resources will increase its level and be able to accommodate new inhabitants. Important note, in most cases you won't be able to satisfy the needs of a whole block of houses during the first trip of a seller. Like some houses might lose a level they previously attained before the level of the whole block goes up. Well, that's completely fine. Certainly not necessary to immediately hire a new seller. Just check that your production can cover the consumption and all houses should eventually receive the products they need. Don't forget to always speed up time to see results of work sooner. That's all for this mission. You did great. Next mission the mission will complete as soon as all houses level up. To grow crops in drier environments using irrigation. Okay. Okay, here's the time, people. With city, you can provide your people with the conditions you're used to and expect, left from a choice, such elsewhere. People are coming back. First again, and people are coming back. Maybe I should build another farm. Oh, mission complete. Next mission. Population 1,350, standard houses 16. The Ubaid period was a I'm guessing I'm pronouncing pronunciations. I'm Irish, but I can't even speak my own tongue. What does Mesopotamia have? What chance does Mesopotamia have? The Ubaid period was a prehistoric period in ancient Mesopotamia, which lasted between 6500 and 3800 BC in southern Mesopotamia. It was also present in northern Mesopotamia between approximately 5300 and 4300 BC. Culture was known for its large settlements without walls and large rectangular houses of clay bricks with multiple rooms. First temples, which were also the first public buildings, also began to appear. Irrigation also started playing a very important role in agriculture. Irrigation was based on irrigation canals organized in a grid-like fashion designed to provide moisture to crops as they grew. This was also when people began to using the plow. This invention led to an abundance of food, and people could begin specializing. We could thus see the rise of first specialized jobs such as potters and tailors. However, the majority of the population still worked in agriculture. This led to first stratification in society, emergence of the first ruling classes. In this period, these were mainly families connected to chieftain settlement. Power also became hereditary, laying the foundation of city-states in the future. Uruk was the southernmost Sumerian city. It was founded in 5000 BC and is considered one of the oldest cities in the world. According to the Sumerian king list, Uruk was the first city in the world. The special place in Sumerian mythology is the home of the god Enki. Uruk was abandoned in around 600 BC, probably due to significant rise of the saline water table and desertification caused by intense irrigation. Well, that's ironic. They irrigated so hard, killed everything off. We've been growing crops on fertile rivers since time immemorial. However, as population grows, this form of agriculture is becoming insufficient. It might be time to try a different approach to irrigation. To agriculture. Or whatever. In this mission, I'll show you how to use irrigation to create fertile soil in areas which are not naturally fertile. As you can see, the map only has a single location where you can build a farm. This location has had enough natural moisture. Let's begin by building a few farms. Livestock farm here. Crop farm here. Irrigation canals there. The irrigation canals are ready, but they don't contain any water. We'll need to build an irrigation pump. As you can see, water is now flowing into the canals, but there isn't enough for the whole system. It's because each pump only has limited power and can only fill a limited number of canal pieces. So for long canals, you need to build more pumps. Excellent. Irrigation is now set up and working as needed, but we need to continue to build more agricultural infrastructure. Warehouse in the area. And connect the farm to warehouses, and the warehouse to the rest of the map. Great, everything's almost ready. The only thing missing is fields and pastures. Excellent. I'll now show you a more advanced technique of setting up warehouses. As you might have already noticed, space is a valuable resource in Nebuchadnezzar, perhaps even the most valuable one. So building a separate warehouse for each type of good is often not the best approach. I'll show you with your own warehouse. This warehouse will be used as a storage point for products from farms, while other buildings will take the products they need from the warehouse. To ensure smooth transport, we need to guarantee that the warehouse will always have enough space for wheat as well as for milk. To do so, we'll deactivate all goods for the warehouse except for wheat and milk. Learn to do that in your first mission. The next steps will be to set up maximum capacities to ensure that the warehouse doesn't store more than allowed amount of goods. 28 for wheat and 8 for milk. Good. You might be wondering why we set precisely this rate for maximum capacity. Reason simple. Milks produce the same rate throughout the year, while wheat is only harvested during the first few months of the year. This means we need more space to handle all the wheat produced in a short span of time. Future missions, don't be afraid to experiment with various storage settings. We'll need to. Last thing I would like to show you in this mission is the info layer. Info layer, a very important tool that can provide critical aid when searching for problems in your city. You can activate it by using the goods button in the upper panel, or by using the keyboard shortcut. 1.9. Good. It might be not showing too much information right now because production in the city is not yet very developed, but this function will be very useful in the future. A detailed description is also available in the advisor panel. There you'll also find several practical usage examples. And that's all for this mission. Great, and now proceed building the sea. I need to get people in. So, okay. Water. Okay. What even is that resource? Not sure. Okay, there we go. For settlers. Okay. Jesus, how many people do we fit in these places? 33 people per house? Jesus. Just tenements. Bread, milk. Great route, but whatever. Come on, finish the fields. Thank you. That's bugging me. I was thinking to go this way, but ceramics and water. Cellar, ceramics. It seems the worker issue solves itself. I now already have a standard house. Poorhouse, shack. People are inbound. And yeah, the standard house can fit 107 people. Max. That helps me not.
Cold or hot, milk beats water. I have the best milk in this whole city.
Do you now?
There's no place in the world like our beautiful city.
Our future is bright in this great and beautiful city.
Behold, this city is even more beautiful in person. What a nice home it will make.
A black cat just crossed my path. Oh no, I'm going to die.
You'll be fine unless it's Nero, in which case you'll probably trip over him. I could continue this on over here, so we actually get more food going. Okay, I'm going to... Ooh, actually, no, I boxed that off. Okay, I'm going to try something stupid. Nah, no. Never mind. Shit. Oh, that's awkward. Oh, I'm sure it'll make do. Ooh, I'm over the minimum amount now. Boom City. I believe. I won't spend this money. It looks so much nicer. So, you're still shacks? Why? There we go. This is too far away. Fine. Another market down over here. And I'll stop it with just you. There, that should... I'm with it. I'll just read about this, and then I'll call quits for now. Uruk period. Uruk period. Population 2000, 32 houses, and a temple. The Uruk period is considered one of the most important periods in Mesopotamian history. A great number of inventions appeared in this period, and these had a great impact not just in Mesopotamia, but around the world as a whole. This includes the invention of the pottery wheel, significant progress in writing, and the rise of the first city-states, dated between approximately 4000 and 3100 BC. Not sure what state structures were present in this period. No evidence of an empire within Uruk as its capital in this period. Most likely scenario is that there were political structures similar to those of city-states. Still, it is clear that a large change in power structures and dynamics took place during the Uruk period. A ruling stratum gradually emerged, obtaining power in public institutions. This was also related to the development of iconography, a tool which supported these strata. We don't know whether this ruling strata and their institutions were organized more like a palace or a temple. Yet there is no evidence that these institutions controlled the majority of the population as far as production is concerned. The economic aspects of the city remain in the hands of individual houses, whose sizes could range between large public institutions and small family organizations. Uruk was a city founded in the 5th millennium BC. During the 4th millennium BC, it played an important role in the urbanization of Mesopotamia, which time it had a population of 30,000 to 50,000. Based in Sumerian king list, it was also home of the legendary king Gilgamesh. The city was abandoned in the 7th century BC. During the Uruk period, there was a great development of public architecture in this city. The temple complex dedicated to goddess Inanna covered over 4,000 meters cubed. That's a huge... covered over 4,000 meters cubed. That's a huge change over from the previous period, when the largest known temple had a maximum area of only 280 meters cubed. Another clear sign of significant development of the ability to organize workforce and obtain materials in this period. King Enmerkar has a very important task for you. You're to build the city of Uruk and in it a grand temple to goddess Inanna. Well, greetings, welcome back. This time I won't delay you too much and won't introduce some new functions to encounter this mission for the first time. But I won't describe them in detail and won't hold your hand this time. I want to keep you from managing your city. That's why it's important you have a look at these in your advisor help panel. The first new mechanic is caravans. As you surely know, the range of haulers can be very limiting and won't let you transport goods long distances. That's what caravans are here for. Caravans transport goods between warehouses no matter how far they are from each other, and as with sellers, their routes need to be manually configured. The second mechanic is monuments. Monuments are gigantic structures that require a huge amount of resources to complete, but are also a beautiful landmark for your city and provide a huge amount of prestige. And the best thing about them is that you can customize them to look just like you want. Another feature I would like to talk about is money. For every discover, money is used for building construction. But besides that, it's also used to pay your workers in the city. On the other hand, your residents in the city pay you taxes, or higher houses levels means higher taxes. In next missions, you'll also be able to earn money by trading with other cities. Detailed information about the financial situation can be found in the Budget tab. Last feature of gods. Your city can worship up to 4 gods, where the first is the patron god of the city, and it cannot change. Each god provides 2 bonuses, global bonus and local bonus. Global ones applied to the whole city, or locals applied only in the surroundings of a devoted temple or shrine. Relation with the god determines value of the global bonus, number of shrines that can be devoted to this god. You can improve relation by organizing festivals. That's all for now. Enjoy building your city. This is actually having a fair bit of overlap with another game I remember seeing before. Seth did a thing on it. I can't remember what it's called though. But yeah, it's like you could pray to Anubis and invaders would just drop dead upon entering your territory. You'd have to be careful of water hippos, just destroying all your farmers. This kind of thing. So I'm going to stop here. I need to go get some sleep. I'm awake too long. I'm going to have a hell of a time waking up in the morning. So, till then, folks, I hope you've enjoyed. I'm gonna play more of this. I'm being kind of terrible about playing games as of late. I get into the game, I play, then I lose interest, and I don't touch it again. At least for a time, anyway. I've done that with a couple as of late, and it's annoying. I'm just kind of caught up in FromSoft games at the moment. I bet all 3 Dark Souls games, and I'm currently working on Shakira. I have no idea when I'm going to actually release this, so that might be old news, relatively speaking. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm currently working on Shakira, so I know, every now and then kind of falls at the wayside, because those are really fun fucking games. Very enjoyable. Frustrating at times, but enjoyable. But anyway, till then. There we go. Anyway, till then.